Hi, good evening, and welcome to this evening's live learning session from APCi. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ralph Watson, and I am an executive coach, professional speaker, and trainer. The subject for this evening is solution-focused coaching. Why have I chosen solution-focused coaching? Because I've recently returned from working in both India and Turkey, and in delivering some of my programs there, I touched on the subject of solution-focused coaching, and it generated a great deal of interest. So on returning to the UK, I determined to kind of put this out there and share with some more of you folks so you can get involved and get to know something about this fabulous and fascinating subject. One of the key reasons why I am so interested in and why I use solution-focused coaching is because from my perspective, it gives back control to my clients who often come to me feeling that they have become the problem, that the problem, whatever that problem is, has taken over their life and they can't focus on anything else. It's almost like somebody has handed them a spade and they are digging into this problem and just making it deeper and deeper and worse than worse. So solution-focused coaching does what it says on the tin. It focuses on the solution and not on the problem. It gives control back to your client. And also it dovetails very nicely with whatever other model or methodology you use for coaching your clients, because it can be used as a simple one-off problem-solving process. I often use this in working with executives and business owners who may come to me specifically because they have a problem and they want somebody to help them get through that problem so that they can move on. Solution-focused coaching provides a fast and very effective solution to their problem. To give you a little background on that, I've been around the world of coaching for almost 20 years now. I've also connected with and have a great many friends in the world of counselling and psychotherapy. And one of the things that I became aware of quite some time ago was solution-focused brief therapy. For those of you who don't know about solution-focused brief therapy, basically a number of organisations, particularly in the UK, provide what they call employee assisted schemes. And they will actually fund their employees who need to go through a coaching or psychotherapy process for whatever reason. And in general, they will budget them for something like 6 sessions. So the therapist, counsellor, psychotherapist, whatever, has to have a methodology for moving their client forward in as short of time as possible. And solution-focused brief therapy became very popular, is still very popular and highly effective. Out of that very quickly grew, for fairly self-explanatory reasons, solution-focused consultancy and solution-focused coaching. And I came across it probably about 10 years ago, adopted it as part of the model that I use with my clients with phenomenal success. And so I talk about it, I use it, I promote it, I walk the talk on it all the time. My purpose here this evening really is to share it with you. Now, this is a learning session, if you wish. You don't have any course notes in front of you, unless you've been doing some research. So my suggestion is, unless you have note paper and a pen in front of you, you might want to very quickly nip off and grab those. And for those of you who are watching this as a recording, now is the time to hit the pause button and go and find that note paper and pen and maybe a cup of coffee or whatever, so that we can move forward. My intention is to talk you through the process in a reasonable level of detail. There is no catch in this session. I'm not asking you to sign up for anything. I'm not leading up to saying, okay, and you can book this or you can book that on the evening and save any money. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just here to share with you solution-focused coaching. So sit back, relax, and here we go. The process is simple and very straightforward, and I intend to talk you through it step by step. So when I have a client who comes to me with a problem, now this might be somebody who has contacted me specifically because they have a problem, or it could be somebody that I'm coaching longer term who just turns up one day and says, hey Ralph, it's all got to go on hold. I've got a major problem and I need to focus on this before I can do anything else. In which case I can say, come in, sit down, let's talk. My process begins with what I call problem-free talk. Talking about them, talking about their life or their business, anything outside of problem. The reason for this is that at a psychological level, it begins to separate the client from the problem. At an unconscious level, they begin to realize that they are a person with a problem and not a problem in control of a person. So it's problem-free talk. Now, sometimes I will do that a whole session. It's purely about me getting to know them. So I will say, okay, I know that you had a problem before you came here. I'm interested in getting to know you so that we can together very quickly resolve that issue. And we will sit and we will talk, and I will ask a lot of questions. I will take a lot of notes. And my objective is very simple, to gently and gradually separate them out from the problem so that they are relaxed and so that they begin to understand that they're on the road to solution. The next thing that I will do is I will ask them to scale that problem. Now, I usually ask them to give me a scale of 0 to 10. 0, there is no problem. And I usually smile and say, so 0, there is no problem, in which case, why are you here? 10, it is the end of the known universe and it is completely life-shattering. Where is it? Now, in all the years I've been doing this, I have not yet had anybody who's come to me with a problem that's more than about an 8. And to them, 8 out of 10 is massive. My attitude the minute they say 8 is to show complete surprise and great pleasure in that they have managed it to being only an 8. I will literally say 8 out of 10, great. So you have managed the level to only an 8. How have you done that? What is it about you and the people around you that has enabled you to do that? And what I'm doing in this process is I'm seeking to connect them with their own personal resources, connect them with their own inner strengths that have enabled them to be where they are. And the reason for that is so that they themselves begin to recognize their own strengths. They themselves begin to recognize their own power. Having taken that scale, I will then ask them very simply, so you've come in the door with a problem that's 8 out of 10. What would be a realistic number for you to be going out of the door with? And usually I'll get something like a 4, because they figure that going down from an 8 to a 4, that's a big step. So I will say, okay, so you come in the door with an 8, you want to go out the door with a 4. Let's see how much better than a 4 we can make it while you're here now. And so what I've got now are the parameters of the presenting state, as we often say in the world of NLP, and the desired state that they want to go out the door with. So I know what I'm working with. I then ask them what I call the miracle question, Some of you may have seen this somewhere else. If you've not come across this, grab your pen, grab your paper, and I will tell you what that miracle question is. I will say to my client, I want you to imagine that at the end of today, you go to bed and you go to sleep, which is perfectly reasonable. While you are sleeping, a miracle happens, and when you wake up in the morning, your problem has gone now. Your problem has gone now. Only you don't know that it's gone because you've been asleep. So once you wake, what will be the things that you see and hear that tell you that this change has happened? What are you going to be seeing that tells you there's no problem now? What are the things you're going to be hearing that suggest to you there's no problem now? What are the things you're going to be feeling in yourself that suggest that things have changed? And the idea with the miracle question is to connect them with their desired reality, how they want the world to be. And I will take it as high and wide as I can. For example, if we're talking about a businessman and their business, or a businesswoman and their business, I will ask them, so when you get into the office or get into the workplace, what are you going to be seeing that's different? What are you going to be seeing that tells you things have changed now, that tells you this problem isn't here? What are you going to be hearing happening and hearing people saying that tells you, hey, the world's changed? This is great. The problem that we had is not here now. Even your family, what are you going to hear your family saying or your friends saying about you and about your business or your life that tells you that things have changed? The idea here is that what they're doing is they are languaging how they want it to be. So they've come in with how it is. They are now describing how they want it to be. And what will very often happen here is that as they are describing that desired reality, they are beginning to highlight that which needs to change because they are seeing that something is different. So what is different? What is different is what often needs to be changed. And I will elicit that from them by asking the coaching questions that steer them to understand what has become different and therefore what they need to do in order to do that. And once we have that, we can then start looking at what is the intervention that we need to put into place together, because I never do coaching to people. I work in partnership with people. And the idea is that together we plan how we're going to make that happen. Now, with some of my clients, that can be a one session thing where we literally decide what needs to happen and they go away and make that happen. With other clients, it may be that there are some stages that we need to put in. But we begin that intervention process, whether it be short or medium term, right there and then, with what is the first thing that they need to do in order to start that change happening. The process then leads to them understanding what actions they need to take. And so what we will do is we will agree what they need to do. We will also look at what support they need from me, because it may be that what would be useful to my client is a telephone conversation or a short discussion on Zoom or Skype or whatever it is that we're using, in order to just maintain the support level. And because I'm a great believer in this, that's how I got the White Wolf brand, and to maintain accountability. Because if we agree that they're going to do something to move them forward, then they need to do it, because otherwise they're going to be coming back to me with the same problem. And I don't get clients coming back with the same problem, because I want them moving forward, and I will do whatever it takes with them to help them to do that. So we get into place what they need to do, what I need to do to support them, and how they will be held accountable. And when, if necessary, when the next session will be. So we have a time scale. We know exactly what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. From there, I then quite simply look to scale the problem again. Now, because of my kind of background with 20 years in neurolinguistics, I tend to language the next question quite carefully. And I will say something like this. So when you came in the door, you had a problem that had been a size 8 until then, and you wanted it to be a size 4 when you went out the door. You said you'd be happy if it was a size 4. So tell me this, how much better than a size 4 is it now? And quite interestingly, the 4 usually becomes a 3. So what we've got then is somebody who's come in the door with a size 8. We've gone through a process which enables them to look at what they need to do and when they need to do it and how they need to do it. And this is simple. I'm not saying it's easy, because this may require several sessions. It may be that they need to go away and do some research, or they may need to go away and have some tough conversations. They may need to go away and do some negotiating in the business world, which is where I operate most of the time. Or it may be that they need to go away and do some work around their relationship or around their lifestyle or something if it's a healthcare issue. Whatever it is, they are going away and doing that, knowing that I'm in the partnership with them. I'm there as their accountability buddy, and I will make sure that I am doing all that I can to help them to get there. So that, in a nutshell, because I like to keep these things, as many of you know, short and sweet, a bit like me, that is an introduction, a brief introduction to solution-focused coaching. Now, I said at the beginning of this short session that I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not. I will, however, make you this offer. I do have a PDF on solution-focused coaching. If you would like to receive that, all you need to do is to contact me through the message button on the APCi Facebook page. Give me your email address and I will send you a copy of that PDF. Here is my promise. Once I send that PDF to you, I will delete that email address. It will not be added to any kind of database, and you will not receive anything further from APCi or me unless we are already connected before this evening, because I can see one or two who are currently watching this who are already connected with me. That's fine. If you're new to me and you don't want anything from me, that's also fine. I will happily delete that email address. So that's all from me for now. This has been our first live learning session through APCi. There will be others coming. If there is a specific topic from the world of coaching or neurolinguistic programming or hypnosis, and when I say coaching, I mean business coaching, life coaching, sport coaching, whatever, please message us through the APCi Facebook page. Let us know what it is that you would like, and either I or one of my colleagues, or we will find a subject matter specialist who will happily come online and talk with you about it. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. I hope you found this useful. I look forward to catching up with you again soon. This will be here on the page as a recording if you want to watch it again and again so that you can pause, take notes. Please do. Until we meet again, all I have to say is bye for now.